Hello everybody, it is Emery48 here, and today's video is on Star Wars Cloak of Deception Part 2, Coruscant. Chapter 6. Palpatine met with Valorum in his office. They are discussing the issue the Republic is having with the Trade Federation. Palpatine advised Valorum to allow the Trade Federation more droid defenses in exchange for taxing the free trade zones in the Outer Rims, where the Trade Federation currently operates. Palpatine also mentioned the Nebula Front members had died during the explosion of the Revenue, which I'm fairly confident is not true. Chapter 7. Qui-Gon met with the Reconciliation Council led by Yoda to discuss the events at Dorvala. The Nebula Front has been taken control of by an extremist wing who hired Cole to attack the Revenue. The Reconciliation Council also thought that Cole had died in the explosion, but Qui-Gon is not as sure. Chapter 8. Viceroys Gunray, Hath Monchar, and Rune Hako met on Moidia to converse with Sidious, who assured them the Senate will sympathize with the Trade Federation following the Nebula Front attacks, which he predicted and orchestrated. Chapter 9. Palpatine discussed his opinions on the taxation bill with other senators while attending an opera. Valorum was also at this opera, but in another box suite. Qui-Gon introduced Obi-Wan to Master Luminara Unduli, who was born on the same planet as Cole. She explains that Cole was a former freedom fighter turned mercenary when Luminara's home planet arrested Cole to keep him from rising to power. Chapter 10. Cole's shuttle hid in the debris of the Revenue for 4 days. When they finally left, heading towards their base on Dorvala's surface, they were fired at by the Dorvala Space Corps. Cole's ship crash-landed. Only Cole, Rella, and Boyne survived the crash. They were then picked up by the Hawkbat, which had returned as planned. The Hawkbat destroyed the Dorvala Space Corps ships in the area. Chapter 11. Valorum held a Senate meeting to discuss and vote on taxation of the Outer and Mid-Rims. Palpatine proposed a summit with those planets affected, including those under Trade Federation representation on Eridu, to hear all sides of the argument in full before a vote. The Eridu spokesperson agreed to hosting the summit. Valorum's only choice was to accept the summit, especially after the motion was seconded. The vote has been delayed until the summit concludes. Valorum stated he will also attend the summit. The Senate meeting ended in applause. Chapter 12. Rella and Cole exchanged the Erodium for their payment with 2 Nebula Front members, Havak and Sindar. The exchange happened on a Smeru. Gunray, Hako, Monchar, and Dauphine met with representatives from Hoar Chaw and Bactoid. They presented their droids that are in the works for the Trade Federation. Chapter 13. Palpatine met with Havak, leader of the Nebula Front. The Erodium ingots are for Palpatine so he can bribe senators, supposedly to help the Nebula Front's case in the Senate. Chapter 14. Jedi Master Adi Gallia informed Qui-Gon that Cole had survived the explosion at Dorvala. She wants Qui-Gon to meet with Valorum, and she's on her way to meet him anyway. Valorum left his office under heavy guard, through a large group of senators looking for a meeting with the Chancellor, into the plaza where protesters had formed, both in support and opposition of the Trade Federation. As Adi and Qui-Gon arrived at the plaza, an assassination attempt was made on Valorum, injuring him. Adi, Qui-Gon, Valorum, and his guards that survived the attack retreated into the building after killing some of the attackers. Chapter 15. Palpatine visited Valorum in the Med Center. The assassination attempt was made by the Nebula Front. Palpatine was not expecting Havak to make this move. Valorum has asked Palpatine to introduce a motion to the Senate asking for Jedi involvement. Palpatine accepted. Valorum is healing well and will be released the same day. Sate Pestage, with the help of a surveillance droid, hacked into Senator Ornfree Taw's computer. Chapter 16. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan met with the Jedi Council in regards to the Nebula front and the assassination attempt on the Chancellor. Cole, Rella, and Boyne jumped to hyperspace to escape Judicial Department ships firing at them after they were spotted heading towards one of their hideouts. Chapter 17. Valorum has asked Yoda and Mace Windu to send Jedi to Asmeru, with the Judicial Department to go after the Nebula Front members tracked back there after the assassination attempt. Valorum has also asked for some Jedi security at the summit on Eridu. Cole returned to Asmeru without Rella. It was not mentioned whether Boyne joined Cole or not. Havak has hired Cole to gather up a team to kill Valorum on Eridu during the summit. The Nebula Front only wanted to scare Valorum the first time on Coruscant into letting them attend the summit, but when no invitation was delivered, they now want to finish the job. This is all we have for Part 2, Coruscant, Star Wars Cloak of Deception. So that's all we have for today's video. Hope you all enjoyed. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your day.